From the marbled halls of power to the hardscrabble streets of America, I'm Tom Lobianco, longtime reporter and your host for the show today. Coming up in a little bit, we're going almost all the way to Canada, but not quite. All right. Hey, if you watch us, if you listen, you tune in every day. I can hear you guys thinking maybe it's time to go to Canada. Well, we're going to get close. We're going up to the UP. All right, the Upper Peninsula. Uh, got a dispatch from there. What's going on with the shutdown from somebody who's seeing it firsthand? All right, we're going to do that later in the show. Reminder, folks, always sign up 24site.news. Drop me a note, Tom at 24site.news. We're here every day at noon, and the encore at Political Voices Network at 8 p.m. Let me know what you're thinking. If yesterday was wild and woolly. It's I between the Republican text chain and Sam Altman's plans for what Chat GPT can do for you. I think it was good. It was a good break. I enjoyed a little bit of levity in these insane times. I really, we're going to be serious. The news reality, that's plenty serious as it is. Okay, so I'm thinking about making that a regular thing, kind of break up the week. Let me know your thoughts on that. Let's do a quick news top. Speaking of serious, super serious. First up, I want to get to the world of crypto. Let's talk about crypto. Do you have 5 hours? Do you want to waste, like, I don't know, years of your life? Can I tell you about the blockchain? Have you heard about the blockchain? I'm only being moderately facetious here. Here's the CNBC top here. Okay. PayPal's headline: PayPal's crypto partner mints a whopping $300 trillion worth of stable coins in, quote, technical error. Byline: Dylan Butts. Key points: Paxos mistakenly minted the stablecoins as part of an internal transfer before it, quote, immediately identified the error and burned the excess PYUSD. I don't know what that stands for. I guess that's Paxos US dollars, whatever the hell that is. The company said in a social media statement. This is good. This is good context. I feel like I'm actually learning something here. There aren't enough dollars in global circulation to back $300 trillion of Paxos US dollars, PYUSD, which would theoretically require more than double the world's entire estimated total GDP. I think I'll take the GDP over the PYUSD. Bonkers. This is hilarious. A technical error, they say. But we should do something. We'll come back to this, okay? We should go deep on it in a good way, not in a drunk at the bar with the guy that just minted $300 trillion of God knows what, burning your ear off. Let's keep it newsy. Okay. Let's move to the Capitol, to Congressman Dave Taylor's office, Republican of Ohio. This out from Politico. Capitol Police called to investigate swastika in GOP congressional office. An American flag altered to include an image of a swastika was found in Rep. Dave Taylor's office. And yes, that is my God, that is a swastika. Yep. That's I don't know. It maybe it's from the heart. Maybe maybe he's claiming autism. Who knows? Let's find out. Byline: Samuel Benson. U.S. Capitol Police were called about an American flag altered to include a swastika and displayed inside the office of Rep. Dave Taylor, his spokesman said. Politico obtained an image taken during a virtual meeting that shows the flag pinned to what appears to be a cubicle wall behind Angelo Elia, one of Taylor's staffers. Alongside the flag, with altered red and white lines in the shape of a swastika, are pinned images, including a pocket constitution and a congressional calendar. It is unclear what role, if any, Elia had in the incident. He did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Quote, I am aware of an image that appears to depict a vile and deeply inappropriate symbol near an employee in my office, Taylor said in the statement. Quote, the content of that image does not reflect the values or standards of this office, my staff, or myself, and I condemn it in the strongest terms. End quote. Taylor said he, quote, immediately directed a thorough investigation alongside the Capitol Police, adding, quote, no further comment will be provided until it has been completed. Well, guys, what's going on? Uh, okay. So to the, if you're watching, I'm sure you guys know about the No Kings protest coming up in a couple of days. This is this is not like a screw up. This is not, maybe an accidental swastika. There's really no humor in this next story. It's just serious. Okay. And I think everybody should know about this, especially if you're heading down there. You don't want the government tagging you as a terrorist, which it seems they want to do with everybody, be it naked bike riders in Portland or people dressed up in frog costumes. What's up, Gene Elby? See ya. Byline from Notice, that's News of the United States. Great news outlet, by the way. I would tell you, check them out. It's NOTUS, is founded a little while ago by Robert Albritton, one of the original founders of Politico a couple decades ago. Got a lot of really great reporters over there. Great young journalists coming up. They're doing really good work. My friend David Leventhal, who I used to work with at Business Insider, is doing some great work over there as well. Headline, No Kings, protest organizers prepare for a possible Trump crackdown. Organizers and supporters told Notice they expect a peaceful Saturday, but they are planning around possible provocation from federal law enforcement or agitators. Yes, this is the correct way to prepare. Byline, Emily Kennard. Millions of people are expected to protest President Donald Trump's reach for more executive power at No Kings rallies across the country this Saturday, and organizers and supporters are worried about the presence of federal authorities in some of those cities. Republican leaders have linked, without evidence, the rallies, which are expected across 2,500 towns and cities, to terrorism and political violence. If you're riding a bike naked, I would call you could argue that's visual violence. Nothing to be put in jail for. Clearly, that is it's your First Amendment right. Please don't do it in front of me. I I don't. Okay, frog costume. Yeah, hit it. Get it, baby. Get it. But get back to the story. But some of the protest organizers and their supporters say they're more concerned about what the federal response to these gatherings might look like than they are about any demonstrators' potential illegal conduct. Quote, we have a very volatile situation in which these federal forces are not wanted in these cities, and they're behaving very aggressively towards the people there, being very provocative, attacking or arresting people who are filming them or protesting them. And we've seen a lot of this. ICE, you name it. Not least of which what's happening is still happening. The escalation in Chicago right now. Said Chip Gibbons. This is Chip Gibbons in that quote. Their policy director for Defending Rights and Dissent, one of the protest supporting organizations. Quote, there's some belief that Trump wants incidents like this to occur because then it can justify what he's doing even further. I would be very concerned about these federal forces trying to provoke one of the protests. You guys probably know Miles Taylor, right? The guy that wrote the anonymous op-ed, then turned it into a book back during the first Trump administration. Also a good Hoosier, a former South Bend guy, I believe. And Miles did something like a week ago. And I've heard a little bit of chatter about this as well from some sources over the last couple months, what have you, certainly with the White House and the administration doing their Gestapo stuff. The idea that they're trying to instigate violence by protesters, they're trying to instigate attacks so they can justify in the public perception. And, reminder, this is all about public perception. quote unquote justify a quote retaliatory attack, a retaliatory crackdown. Uh, Smart folks from previous administrations, smart folks who work in national security have been keeping close tabs on this stuff. Very serious. And if you're going down there, do be safe, guys. Look, remember what MLK said. It's peaceful. Okay. And if somebody is instigating down there, look them up and down. They might be Jack Posobiec. Ask them to just tell him to go take a hike to a pizza parlor and park himself in the basement, and maybe he can find some pedophiles or some shit. And you guys stay safe. All right. Tell me about it too. I'd be very curious to hear about your experiences. We'll have to do a wrap on that next week. Okay, let's go up to Pennsylvania real quick, and then we're gonna bring on Callie Barr from Michigan here. Reminder, guys, hit me up, Tom at 24site.news. Sign up at 24site.news. Catch us every day, Monday through Friday at noon, and the encore at 8 p.m. on Political Voices Network. We're going to have a fun one tomorrow coming up. We're going deep on polling. Good polling and bad polling, and how to identify the two, and what in the hell is going on in New Jersey and another state, but I'm not going to say which state it is yet. Some of you guys might know already, but don't tell anybody. All right, one will be a secret. All right, come on. Where's the mystery? Where's the suspense? Here's some suspense. Senate scoop. Axios. Dems plot Fetterman ouster. Story by Holly Otterbein. Otterbein is great, by the way. Longtime Pennsylvania reporter. Very good work. Top of the story here. Top Democrats in Pennsylvania are maneuvering to run against John Fetterman in a 2028 primary contest, threatening to tear the party apart in the biggest battleground state in the nation. Amen. That's the lead. Why it matters. Democrats haven't flipped a GOP Senate seat since Fetterman did it in 2022. He's still popular with Pennsylvania voters, even as Democrats turn on him over his softened approach to President Trump. Interesting. Check out this. So here we go. We got Brendan Boyle is looking at possibly doing it. Allegedly. Okay, now, nobody's actually announced this yet. This is a quote, according to multiple political insiders in Pennsylvania. And if it's coming from Holly, I would believe that. Her sourcing is great. Some other names being floated: Chris DeLuzio and former Representative Connor Lamb. Interesting. Boyle has been tagging him on TV and social media, calling him Trump's favorite Democrat. Wow. Boy, that's nasty. Oh, man. That's interesting. Connor Lamb has won the praise of progressives like Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez for repeatedly attacking Fetterman, who beat Lamb in the 2022 Democratic primary. Wow, this is interesting. Asked for comment, Fetterman texted, "Enjoy your clickbait." Asked for a follow-up question, Fetterman said, "Please do not contact." Well, I think he got a story. It's a good one. All right, guys, let's bring in. We're gonna bring in. Let me tee it up here. Callie Barr is running for Congress up in Michigan, up in the 1st district. Okay, and I'm trying to bring on more candidates, especially so we can hear from across the country. What's actually happening. I'm here in suburban DC. All right. I'm a Beltway person, even though I'm really a Baltimore Beltway person, but now I'm a DC Beltway person. There's a whole damn country out there. It's a big country. As it turns out, I was doing a little bit of research on this here. Let's bring in Callie. Here we go. Hey, Callie, how are you? Turn up your, there we go. Let me unmute you.
There we go. Thanks for having me on. I heard you say close to Canada, and that's right. Actually, many parts of our district is further north than Canada. So we're up there. That's right. I mean, so the Michigan's 1st district is the entire Upper Peninsula and the top part of the Mitten. So I'm the only congressional candidate in Michigan where I get to pull out both hands when I talk about my district and point to it for people. And my tagline always is, we have a very absent representative right now.
Oh,
So I'm running to replace him. But I say a lot. There's more sightings of Bigfoot in my district than Jack Bergman, because
really?
that's the truth.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Where's Bergman? What's he doing?
Yeah, he's not
Where's he
around.
at?
He's not around. And actually, for all purposes, mostly lives in Louisiana. So doesn't like the cold, doesn't like 10 feet of snow.
Wait a minute.
I
Don't you
know.
have to?
I
Don't you
know.
have to live in the state to represent the state?
Well, yeah. I mean, why, you can claim hunting property, right? And call it your residence, I guess. So
Oh, wait a minute. A second property?
isn't that fun? Isn't that fun?
You think he's in
But
danger of
the
being
thing is
investigated?
too, I'm like deeply rooted in this district.
Yeah.
My family goes back 5 generations. I care a lot about the people here.
Yeah.
And, we were talking a little bit about the government shutdown and what that looks like in places outside of Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
And, I can tell you in an area like mine, we actually have the second most in the state of Michigan federal workers, right? Over 8,000.
Really? Wow.
We've got national parks here that people like to visit. We've got fish and wildlife. We've got the Bureau of Indian Affairs, Bureau of Indian Education. We have 8 of the 12 federally recognized tribes in this district.
Oh, interesting.
And so a federal government shutdown impacts us. Even just this morning, I thought, I'm going to call. We have Sleeping Bear Dunes. We have National Park up in the Upper Peninsula. And, you're just going to get a full voicemail box. No one's going to answer. Our parks are open, but they're limited. A lot of our economy are tourists coming. So if you get stuck or trapped, that could be a problem, right?
Wow.
Think about forest fires or our people that are just want to help and serve our country right now are federal workers, and they can't. And, one thing I really want to point out in places like mine, and I talked to a federal worker just a couple days ago. And she was saying, like, look, I've got a child. I'm not getting paid. And I don't know if I'm going to get back pay now. Right. So she's filling out waitressing applications just to try to keep food on the table. And then she tells me, look, what I really want, though, is I want Congress to hold the line because I know how much we need health care. And I thought about the situation we put so many people in where they're, damned if we do, damned if we don't, right? Where this shutdown impacts and it hurts people. But at the same time, if we were to agree to like a stopgap measure that doesn't roll back the Medicaid cuts, that doesn't make sure these ACA subsidies continue, that they're hurt again, right? And like healthcare is the largest employer in my district. So these cuts are going to have a tremendous impact on us. And I just believe in a future where we should be able to have good jobs and we should be able to have healthcare too. And I think we can do both things.
What do you think? Because, some of these folks here, like Mike Lawler, I'm sure he probably saw that bit where he did the stagecraft of confronting, or quote unquote, confronting Hakeem Jeffries down at the Capitol with his own idea, his own plan, a moderate Republican plan for healthcare. I mean, do you take that as a good faith effort? Because there are, still a number, I mean, maybe 7 like moderate Republicans still in the House of Representatives, and they do vote with Democrats periodically. I mean, do you take that as a good faith effort?
So I don't know what was presented. I'd have to look at that. But I do know that the 2 things that have been offered, which are continuing the ACA subsidies and rolling back the Medicaid cuts, seem very basic to me. That these are things that we can do. And I think there's always room to talk about what else we can do for healthcare. We can talk about pharma. I mean, there's a lot we can talk about. But these 2 things we know we need to continue, right? Medicaid cuts, as we see them for rural areas like mine, are going to devastate rural hospitals. And we know that already. Up in Ironwood, we lost labor and delivery last month. In 2026, another hospital in my district is going to cut acute care and labor and delivery because they have to consolidate with another city. And so when we lose access like that, it's longer drive times. We're going to have women having babies on the side of the road. We can't have that, right? We can't have that. in all, really, because I've got a congressman right now who added $3 trillion to the debt to give these tax breaks to billionaires, right? I mean, it's one thing to say we're going to make cuts to balance the budget. It's another thing to say we're going to make cuts that impact lower working Americans and then continue to balloon the budget, right?
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this, because if you look at, and this is something I hear from, I call my civilian friends, right? Those folks who are not crazy enough to be in either politics or journalism, perpetually insane industries as they are, and that's why you got us.
Yeah.
Okay, look, we handle that. All right, guys. Tune in every day at noon. we take the flack so you don't have to. But they're all, the one thing I hear routinely, and it's almost nonpartisan, is just such exasperation at Congress being able to get anything done. There's kind of a rolling of the eyes, like, oh, okay, another shutdown. I'm shocked by this.
Yeah.
How do you change that? How do you make Congress work?
It's such a great question, right? And I come from a military family. I married my husband when I was 18 years old. He had joined the Marine Corps after 9/11, fought in Iraq and Afghanistan. And those early experiences in our life really shaped how I view service, not just to a community, but to this country. And, when you are burying people that you love, you're not thinking about what religion they are, what their political leanings are, where they come from. What you know is that you're in this together, that you will rise or fall together, and you have each other's back because you're Americans, right? And that there's a push and a pull, but we work together. And right now in this polarization that we're in, we need to come back to that place where we see each other again, where we have that understanding that we're in this together, and we won't always agree. But what we have to do is be able to agree to disagree sometimes. And this zero-sum game that we play is hurting all of us. And I just feel like right now we're at a place in American history where we are asking ourselves an essential question, which is, what does it mean to be an American? And I think throughout our founding, we've done that at certain points, right? When 250 years ago, when we said all men are created equal, that was outrageous. The world was ruled by rigid class systems where we said people believe that some people are ordained by God to be better than other people. And so when we said that, it was outrageous and inspired worldwide revolution. And then throughout our history, we've been asked, do you really believe that? That you can come from any kind of social class, you can come from any kind of race, religion, and that you can have a shot, you can have a chance. And we fought a civil war, the labor movement, the civil rights movement, women's suffrage, again and again, where we've said, America, do you believe it? Do you believe everyone should have a fair shot? And I think right now we're in that place again, where we're being asked, do you really believe everyone should have a fair shot? Not just the billionaires, not just, CEOs and corporations. Should everyone have a fair shot? And I think how we answer this question is going to really matter. And that's why races all across the United States matters. It's why how we look at each other matters, because we've got work to do to have a future where we all can just have a shot, where we all can have healthcare, right? A job that pays.
I had on and folks, if you're just joining us, we got Callie Barr. She's okay now. Is it Traverse? Is it? I'm sorry.
Traverse
What's your home?
City. Yeah,
okay.
That's where I live. That's right, Traverse City. Grew up Traverse City and Sheboygan. Actually, neat fact: I married my husband out of Sheboygan High School, the same high school my parents met and got married out of, and my grandparents. So deep roots in farm country. Yeah,
guys, she's a local.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so. Actually, my husband's family goes back like 5 generations. So when we started dating, it was like, check the family tree, like. And I wish that was a joke, but that's just like reality. And anyone from a small town knows what I'm talking
about. Guys, if you're just joining us, so Callie Barr's running for Congress up in Michigan's 1st district, which is Canada. It's just Canada. Okay. As Callie said this at the top, I did not know this. Sorry. I
Yeah.
need to hang out more in Michigan.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, probably not in the winter.
Oh no, definitely in the winter. You would love it. Sled dog races. We have parties on the ice. Like the lake freezes over. People drive their trucks on the ice. I mean, it's it's fun. Ice fishing. What? Yes.
You know what? That's it. We're doing a redneck tour. That's I got family up in Dundalk. I know how to load up a pickup truck. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Check Tom24site.news if you got questions. If you're with us live right now on Substack and YouTube, drop in your comments. Ian Walters is on the board. If he's here, he'll gather those up. We can hit those up. I gotta this is really random. Okay. Oh, hey, here, I'll throw this one in here real quick because this is Gene Elvey. Hey, Gene, what's up? Gene Elvey says democracy is supposed to have friction, push and pull, and debate. So this is, yeah.
That's right. And one thing about that I just want to comment on, and it's something that has really, should bother all of us, is that even when I have worked to talk to folks who are being impacted right now, whether it's by tariffs or the government shutdown, what has happened increasingly is that people will tell me their story or what's happened to them, but then they don't want anyone to know their name because they're afraid of reprisal. They're afraid of a government coming after them. And when you have this chilling effect of speech and people not being able to speak truth, it impacts that very thing that you're talking about, which is that push and pull of democracy, that ability to be able to debate based on a shared set of facts. And if we can't have shared facts, it's really difficult to engage in debate. And we can't have truth tellers who can say, hey, here's what's happening to me. And we need to be able to do that without fear.
Yeah, it is. There's a part of me, I never thought I would look at Jimmy Kimmel as a hero. And here we are, because I grew up, I'm 43. So, Jimmy Kimmel, I remember, was on the Man Show on Comedy Central. So, it's like not Jimmy Kimmel statesman, although, what, everybody rises to the occasion. And boy, did he, it really felt like a moment.
I think absolutely it was a moment. And there is a difference. I want to be really clear about this because I saw folks saying, freedom of speech is not freedom from consequence. That is true, but there is a difference between that and freedom of speech and a government coming after you for it. And so I think that piece for some folks was missing, which was understanding that the Jimmy Kimmel, what happened there was a government getting involved and coming after someone. It wasn't like some type of cancel culture, right, that we might think about. This was something very different. And that's why to see him reinstated, I think, was a very good thing.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. This is, here's Jeannie Elby writes, and this is a record. I love this book, by the way. Great recommendation of American Nations by Colin Woodard. Such a good book.
Oh, I've not read that.
Oh, it's amazing. It's great. That's
Thank
like
you.
my Bible. We had Matthew Taylor on the program a couple days ago. I was talking about how I'm a bad Catholic, and even worse. So this, as part of my continuing heresy, I will now cite a secular book by this guy Colin Woodard. It's brilliant, actually. It's a great book. It's so good. Justina Halavka writes in, Callie. Yes, that's like 8 exclamation points. Yeah, get it, Justina. And 3 big hearts. I got a question for you about ice cream. Now,
ice cream?
So is Mackinaw's in the 1st district, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I'm surprised you're asking me about ice cream though, and not fudge.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait, is that your? Okay. Wait,
yeah, we do ice cream, but like fudge is a big thing. I mean, we do fudge. We do fudge on Mackinac Island.
Right.
We do a lot of fudge up here. My sister worked fudge. I mean, handing out samples. Yes, we've all worked in tourism at various points in high school and getting jobs. Call them we actually a lot of times call tourists fudgies.
No way.
Yeah. Because you're like,
Oh, that's hilarious.
You're up to get fudge, and then like when you just stand there and you just pack your face, you're like a fudge packer, right? Like, and you don't buy it. That's rude.
Oh my God.
So,
This is like good.
if you're trying samples, buy fudge. Okay.
It's right. Come on, guys. It's like storming the local Costco for lunch. You know.
Okay, but I'm sorry, I interrupted. What was the ice cream question?
I know that was better than anything I had. That was great. Fudgies? That's incredible.
Yeah.
No way.
So just like embrace it when you come, because now you got to come in the summer too.
Yes.
Fudgy. Own it.
Okay. I will pay. I will pay to support local industry. Okay. Let me ask you something, because I've been reporting on this guy down in Indiana whose family is from Hillsdale, and they claim to be, there's like a modicum of scandal here. They claim to be the creators of Moose Tracks ice cream.
Oh.
Now there's a lot of stories about this, and there's a lot of competition over who it is. I'm curious how big. See, for us coastals,
yes,
for us, folks that live on the seaboard, how big is Moose Tracks ice cream, and like how much of a scandal would it be to have a fight over who actually made that, who built?
Yeah, Moose Tracks is a big deal. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I eat Moose Tracks. I've had that since I was a kid. I mean, it's in the grocery stores and everything. Yes, but Hillsdale is south of where I'm at.
Yeah.
Yeah, and remember, parts of my district are further north in Canada.
Is this like like Lincoln in the Midwest, where it's like you go to Indiana, Illinois, Kentucky, and everybody's like, well, we're the home of Lincoln. Like, is it like one of those? Like,
oh, you mean like what's north?
Yeah.
Yes.
Or no, like I mean, in terms of like the Moose Tracks and like claiming Moose Tracks, like, does everybody, or is it understood? Let me ask you this: Is it understood that there's only one Moose Tracks and there's only one?
Oh, that's a good question. I like don't even feel qualified to answer that question, actually.
Well, now we have a scandal. Okay, good. All right. Yeah, I knew I was going to get some news out of this one. Oh, I'm going to press now. No, I should have said that. Now I got to dig. Oh no, really?
There's, I mean, if Michigan Moose Tracks, yeah, but I mean, again, we're out of my district now, so.
Okay. Oh.
But we got Faygo Pop, right? Like, I can answer lots of questions about Michigan products.
Oh no, I think this has to be a 24/7 news investigation. I got to dig on this one, baby.
This is the one thing I did not prepare myself for. I will tell you that.
This is right. Mike Sarasso, who was on the show yesterday. That's why you get a pro like Sarasso. This is media training. You never know. All right. No. You don't want to get stuck like who was that Fed Reserve guy yesterday on CNBC? He's like that. His dodge was he was on stage. It was terrible. It was like, it's like, well, that's above my pay grade. It's like you're literally like you're a member of the reserve board, my man. No, that is your pay. It's like
my favorite is the pretend glitch. Like
remember during the pandemic, I should do this. Ian, we should do this. This would be great. Don't anybody rat us out when we do this, all right? For all our regulars, okay? So if you're watching, you can't tell anybody. Remember when people used to put the loops on Zoom, all right, like to make it look like they're in the meeting?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh.
Yes. Yes. So during the pandemic, I have 2 daughters. So during the pandemic, I was like so I'm an attorney by training. So I'm working. I'm also trying to like teach my daughters online, which is like a disaster, right? I had like feral kids for 2 years, like most moms of America. Okay. So I noticed my daughter like is in math class, and exactly what you're saying. We have like a picture of her face, and then she's got her math book and just like a novel. She's just reading the whole time, right? With like a picture. I mean, you're like, okay, Whatever. I don't know.
I did,
Don't be a
kickers-
rocket scientist because we've lost all fundamentals. I don't think we'll ever get back.
This is, how old are your kids?
So now 14 and 11. So,
Oh, wow.
So freshman year of high school and now 6th grade, which is middle school. So these were big years. I mean,
oh yeah.
My youngest stayed up till midnight, just like learning how to open a locker.
Oh, wow.
Right. Because like you can't be stuck trying
Yeah.
to open a locker in middle school with kids
Oh
walking
yeah.
by. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
that's
Yeah, that's a war zone. Yeah.
That's bad. And then I was trying to help her, and then I was having a hard time remembering. So I think I just confused her. I was like, left, right, left. No, right, left, right. I don't know. Figure it out.
9. See, my kiddo just turned 9 today. Happy birthday, Bean.
Ah, happy birthday.
And I will tell you, that's the age when they start getting smart. And then when you're telling a story about your kid flipping the book, I'm like, I'm starting to see a little bit of that.
Oh yeah.
They get clever. Still
They
sweet.
do. They do.
Still very
They get
sweet.
clever.
Yeah.
My girls are hunters too. My youngest just got a 5-point buck yesterday, which was really exciting for her. She does crossbow and yep.
What? Wow.
So they're tough little women.
Wait a minute. What does it take to like shoot a deer with a crossbow?
Yeah.
That sounds hard.
Yeah. And she's tough. She's tough. But you know,
Wow.
dad Marine, you know, he didn't have any boys and
oh, it's a okay.
So, I mean, they grew up like hunting, fishing.
Wait a minute. So did you say crossbow? It's a crossbow, is that right? Or is it a compact?
It was a yes, crossbow.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. It's now okay. Yeah, I need to. Okay, I'm gonna do. We're gonna do a producer. Ian, we're gonna do this.
Okay.
We're gonna do a country living segment. All right. Yes.
Yes. Well, it's different, right? Like my oldest, I remember when she got her first deer, and so Matt, my husband, he processes all his own meat, right? Like we don't send it in. He does it. Girls help him. Like there's a lot of respect for the animal. You know, we eat it. I mean, so the girls are helping, you know, do everything, every part of it. And then my eldest went to school and was showing some kids like how you process a deer, but she was like using a stuffed animal because she was, I don't know, she was like maybe 6th grade or something. And so the teacher called me and she was like, I really need to have a conversation with you, right? She wasn't from Northern Michigan. And I was like, oh, no, that's not what you think. Like she was just with her dad in the garage, like processing a deer, not future serial killer. Okay.
Oh, that's great.
Country living. Yes, I'm all about it.
How do you know, Callie? Let me ask you something because this is something I've been wondering about a lot. And guys, if you're just joining us, got Callie Barr, Democrat candidate for Michigan's 1st congressional district, way up in the north. That's 2 hands on the map.
Got it. Got it.
How do you communicate with voters? Because this is like this was the conundrum coming out of the last election.
Yeah.
How are you addressing this?
Yeah, it's a great question, right? Because so much of the advice that you get when you have a campaign like this is very like a top-down approach, right? Lock yourself in a closet, raise millions of dollars, and then hit everybody over the head with TV. And I'm not saying that doesn't reach people, right? Of course it does. But in really rural communities, people need to hear from their neighbor, right? And I suspect that that's way more important than a 30-second TV commercial. And so I ran last cycle, right? And I was like kind of the first, actually I was the first woman Democratic nominee in the history of our district. So that was cool. And the first one in a long time, probably 6 or 7 years, I got on TV to even just give a message, right? And that's the other thing. A lot of these rural areas, we just have messaging vacuums. We haven't had people talking to people. So that was really important. And we saw we carried 30 counties from the last presidential to 2024 that we actually shifted left in a lot of our counties, 21 of them, and 3 of them we held the line in an environment where nationwide we went about 5 points further to the right in every county. So that was good. But running as a second-time candidate now in this environment, what I've done is just go way more into field organizing. That means breaking this huge, massive district up into regions with field captains who are recruiting volunteers. I call it Amway for Good. And really getting people to have their mail-in ballot, right? So they can mail that in, and really build a grassroots effort, a movement for people to be engaged and involved. That means going to football games, going to farmers markets, wearing our merch, talking to people. I don't think we can underestimate how important that is. And I think we've been just paying a lot of lip service to this type of organizing instead of actually doing it. And what I mean by that is you will see like, hey, I'm a grassroots candidate because my average donation is $20. That doesn't mean anything. It means you have an average donation that's kind of low. It could be like people from all across the country and no one in your district, right? It doesn't tell me your volunteers on the ground, who's showing up for you, who's talking about you, who's amplifying your message, who's like the person in town, in that small town, who's the activist, right? Who's on your team and knocking doors. So I also just think we don't have great ways of measuring really strong campaigns. And so I am running this campaign in a way that I think is impactful. I think empowers people to organize, to talk to their neighbor, and especially right now in a time when people need to do something, when they need to feel empowered, when they need to know they have a voice. Because I can tell you being locked in a closet and just raising money does not do any of those things. I'm not saying it doesn't matter. It does. Everyone listening, I need your money and I need your help always, because it will help me pay staff and message. But what I'm saying is that too much of politics has become transactional and not relational. And it is my goal right now to make this relationship based, because that is what matters. And it's what gets us to talk to people. You know, you got to meet people where they're at. I've gone to biker rallies. You know, I go places to see people. I had a guy, I was at a biker rally and he goes, what are you, Democrat, Republican? And I always say I'm an American first, right? Like, let's center ourselves, but I'm on the Democratic ticket. And he looked at me and he looked around and he started laughing and he goes, girl, I'm going to vote for you because you have the balls to show up here. Right. And then he's like, let's take a picture because I've never met a Democrat. And I was like, yes, you have. Right. You have. You just don't know it. Right. Because we're not having conversations we should be having.
Wow. You know, when I was doing the research on my Pence book years ago, and I did not appreciate this before, how often big names, especially in Congress, people go on to major careers. Newt Gingrich, for example, like half of the Tea Party in 2010, that Tea Party wave, are people who have run it's like their third time running. And so, Mike, what did you screw up the first time that you learned? And what's like the biggest lesson from last year?
Yep. That's a great question. So it's what I'm hitting at right now, which is getting this organizing piece and getting it now. So Michigan has a very late primary. The primary is in August, and then ballots are mailed in October. And so there is sometimes this hesitancy to wait to get more people on board after the primary, and that's not enough time. It's just not. And so starting now is really, really important. So that's a number one, is just, it's also trusting yourself. You know, as a first-time candidate, I can tell you there were times when you do like this whole media prep thing, and folks will tell you, well, don't say something this way, maybe say it this way. And it can chip away at your confidence. And this time around, I'm me, right? And I think that we shouldn't, like, I don't know. I think there's this tendency sometimes to just be too careful. And this is a moment that this is an all hands on deck moment, right? This is an all hands on deck moment. Like, our democracy's on the line. We've got people that are scared. We've got people, like, this is a time that we go all out. And so I think I have a lot more confidence this time around as a second term candidate. And I think that's needed.
Yeah. Yeah, the ability to just feel
Cut out
comfort.
the noise. It's the
Yeah,
ability to cut out the noise.
yeah,
It's to cut out the
yeah,
noise
yeah.
and find
That's
your people, because you will have people that say, I want you to talk this way. I
mm,
want you to do this. I want you to do that. And if you're going to represent your community and your people appropriately, that means that sometimes you're not going to agree with your party, maybe, or you know what I mean? You have to have the confidence to be able to do that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you a wonky
Yeah.
question. How's the quality of the walk list? Because, there's all these
Mm.
concerns about NGP van and, like, the accuracy of the data. You heard these horror stories last year. I have Reed Galen comes on regularly, and he was doing walks in suburban Philly, and they were supposed to be purple districts, but it was like red hats everywhere. And they were working from a
Yep.
shit walk list, like, it was terrible information. What are you running into? What's
So,
your experience?
yeah. So, yes. And because of that, this time around, we are actually using a different software. I have
Mm,
Van, which I have that to look at, but I also have a guy in my district, Bob Chun. Bob, there you go. I'm going to put your name out there. Who created his own software, Wave Michigan, where he is working to have really accurate, up-to-date data, specifically because of this. So we have two platforms that we're using now to make sure that the effort and the time that we put into walking, doors, mail, whatever, that we are using the best data that we can get our hands on.
oh, yeah, right on. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really boy, I keep wondering what it's gonna take for the Democratic Party way up top here, the
Yeah.
capital D party to work on that because that's the lifeblood. We used to go back and forth like, you had '04 Rove micro targeting, you had '08 Obama like nano targeting, you had I don't know, what was 16. It wasn't the Cambridge Analytica, but it was definitely like a part of that. And now we're living. Oh boy, now we're living Cambridge Analytica. There was an 8-year lag on that one. Jesus. Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
That's yeah.
the other thing is, I think some of our ideas are like our media continues to be, we get our media from a lot of different sources, right? Which
Mm,
makes it harder to reach people too. Because it's like, and even just look at our social media platforms. It's like Facebook, Insta, is it TikTok, Snapchat, Substack, like on and on and on and on and on, right? And then we think about streaming services or broadcasts. And then in my district, a quarter of my district still doesn't have the internet. So, right. So then we're still looking at radio and the penny saver and the newspaper to help inform people. And so we have to be versatile and be willing to be creative in messaging. And that's another way in which this campaign this time is different, because I know this district and it is different, right? It's not just TV. It's not like a urban area, right? We have people who drive an hour to work every day and they're going to listen to the radio, right? Or they don't have access to the internet.
How how effective is direct mail?
I think I think it can be, right?
Yeah.
But like and I think particularly could be, we have an older population.
Hmm.
So that's part of it, right? We have an older population. That's where we really are working for earned media, like
Hmm.
newspapers, really,
Yeah.
or some of the. There's still like kind of like a penny saver, I call it, or
Yeah,
flyers that go
sure.
out, or like little pamphlets just for seniors, like that type of thing, right?
Yeah.
That I think some traditional consultants might kind of like laugh about, but you're like, well, but actually that's what they're reading, right? I mean, I even think about, and I don't know if you know this, but like when you go into a diner, right? And you have the placemat at the diner and it's got like advertisements on it,
Yep.
right? Like that's
Yep.
another way to talk to people, right? Or the board where you put, the cork board.
I
mean, there's a lot of ways to think about reaching people.
Now you got me thinking about marketing. And the 24 site news right on the Greek blue and white, around the edges. There has to be exactly one printer in the United States that makes every placemat for these places.
I know. But it's just, you think about the kind of the multifaceted approach that you'd love to be able to make, right? And of course, with resource constraints, you're always making decisions based on what seems more effective based on what you have, right? But I think we have room to be creative too within our districts.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, totally. Here we Callie, I want before we wrap up or
Yeah.
getting into 1 o'clock, I want to say here Jeannie Elby Jeannie Elby is awesome. I love Jeannie. Jeannie asks, how do we donate to Callie? And what? No internet in the USA? JFC. Well, I love Jeannie.
I know. Well, okay, so you asked my favorite question. No, so Callie, it's CALLIE for FORcongress.com. Our website's right there. There's a donate button. There's also our address if folks want to send a check. And I am very grateful to you for that. Like I said earlier, it's an all hands on deck moment, and I take it very seriously. And so I want to thank you. And yeah, I mean, the internet is a big problem, right? Because we also have AI that's coming, right? I'm always looking at my door, like, is John Connor just going to come running in at any moment? I don't know. But what I do know is John Connor's not going to know a whole lot about the Upper Peninsula in Northern Michigan because it's being fed data from people who have the internet. And that's just it's not okay. When you think businesses and schools and, remote work, I mean, it's unexcusable to not have this. And it kind of shows the neglect of areas like mine where you don't have representation, right? So
this is, what is this, like Terminator 12?
yeah.
You're gonna have to walk them out in the middle of Lake Michigan, right? It's like,
well, if it goes down, you know where to go. Come up here.
That's right. Callie, thank you so much. This was great.
Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate you having me on. And to everybody listening, just keep the faith. I see goodness every day in the people that I meet with. And I think it's so important to remember that I just last night went to a welcoming home for an honor flight from veterans from Vietnam and Korea and World War II. And I thought about these folks coming home. Some of them were crying. They'd never gotten a welcome home before. And it just reminded me that we can come together. We can heal. And so keep the faith in ourselves and each other in this process. And I know it's hard right now, but I think we have hope when we see all the people here, when we have Tom. So Tom, I want to thank you for the work you do too.
Happily. We're all in this together. Everybody.
That's right.
Yeah. Awesome. Callie, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. I'll ping you. I'm a little reticent on winter, maybe fall. Okay, but we're already into October. I might wait till the spring. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sorry.
We have fall colors in the fall. See, so like I will give you a reason for every season why it makes sense to come visit.
This is why you're a good candidate.
Yes.
Thanks, Callie.
Thank you.
That was great, guys. Love this. That was so much fun. Thank you, guys. Everyone, man, I love it, Jeannie. We got to figure out some way of properly streaming the Substack and the YouTube together. It's every day is a learning experience here. We're moving at light speed to get everything smooth, nice, sweet, you name it. Experimenting along the way. I got to figure out some way to every day is a major improvement. And thanks guys for being here. It's a lot of fun. I like getting the questions from the crowd. By the way, if you haven't, you should really check out American Nations by Colin Woodard. Jeannie recommended that, and it's great. It is an incredible book. So Woodard is a longtime So it's Woodard, like it's like Woodward without the extra W, Woodard. And Woodard is a longtime a journalist. He's now up in Maine, I believe. I think he might be running for Washington Monthly. And he did this thing about a decade ago. It's a tract by tract county demographic census data reporting. And what he did was he went all throughout the US, going back to the earliest numbers he could find in the 1600s. All right. And it's amazing the way that he diagrams the settlement patterns of the US and how that impacts the culture. I mean, even current day, you can talk about a uniform, monoform, whatever, national, but there are still, as as we just found out, right? Like, that we don't have frozen lakes down here in Maryland. You do up in the UP, okay, up in up in Michigan. All right, I don't. I'll buy some good clothes. I'll buy some good something warm, all right, and good boots. And maybe we'll do that winter trek. All right. Coming up on the show tomorrow, guys, we're gonna be doing a polling. How to be a good consumer of information. Channel your inner reporter and really understand what's going on, how to pick out a good poll from a bad poll. And this will really help you ground yourself so you don't, need to get all worked up about every time you see every little news story about of Virginia or New Jersey. You can read it like the pros. All right. We're going to be doing that in Jersey and in another place, another mystery place where there's some very shocking results. That's coming up tomorrow. Reminder, hit me up, Tom at 24site.news. Sign up at 24site.news and catch the encore. If you missed the top of the show, we'll have it up on the YouTube here in a little bit. Make sure to get the email that goes out and catch the encore every day at 8 p.m. on Political Voices Network on YouTube. And thank you guys so much for being here. I say it's a pleasure and a privilege, but above all, it's our right. And this is so fundamental. And the way that we keep these rights is by working them. And I'm so honored to work that right with you every day. We'll see you tomorrow, guys.